So we are recording this meeting for those who could not attend, so that they can see it later and get all the information. And we will have time at the end for questions. Actually, at the very end, we're going to do breakout sessions with all of your camp directors, so you can go speak specifically to them about questions you have in their camp. And then, of course, feel free to contact us directly after the meeting as well through either phone or email with questions. Before I go any further, I should introduce myself. My name is Josh Goldstein. I am the new Director of Camping Services here at the JCC of Dallas. So thrilled to have you all here, and especially thrilled to have this amazing team of camp directors with us. We work together all year round, planning an amazing summer for your children, and we're so excited that you're here. I'm especially honored to be able to work with Laura Seymour, who is now the Camp Director Emeritus, and to learn from her this summer. And you'll hear from her in a moment. In addition to my role as Director of Camping Services, I'm also co-director of Camp Chai with Tarlo, who is also going to speak to you about that in a moment. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce, as I said, Camp Director Emeritus Laura Seymour.
Hello, everybody. Can't wait for the summer. And I am in a slightly different capacity, but definitely still around, still singing, still doing anything that is asked of me, including carpool. And I'm also taking the lead role in managing all the registration. And I'll be going through that process tonight. And any questions you have concerning registration, send them my way. And we're excited to get you all registered. So see you soon.
Thank you, Laura. And as I said, I'm just so thrilled to work with and excited to introduce you to Tarlo, who is the co-director of Camp Chai, along with being the director of early childhood education and a plethora of other items at the J. So Tara, please introduce yourself and tell us about Camp Chai.
Hey everybody, I'm Tara and I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight. I actually started as a camper here at the J when I was 3, so went to Camp Simchah and Camp Chai and have been working there ever since. Camp Chai is our traditional day camp and we have lots of amazing things. We do it all at Camp Chai, and I look forward to telling you, all of you who are interested in Camp Chai later. I also want to note that we do have a special new kindergarten unit called Little Chai, which is going to be a great kind of hybrid between Camp Simchah and Camp Chai, where it's a special program especially designed for our kindergartners.
Thank you so much. And Polo Cruz is our esteemed tennis camp director, who can teach you how to serve the ball real hard and many other things.
Hi, I'm Polo Cruz. I'm the tennis camp director and assistant tennis director at the J. I started here in 1998 working with camp and been here ever since. At tennis camp, obviously the name, we play a lot of tennis, but we also do a few other things. We play some indoor games. We go on field trips. We go swimming. We have a very fun, exciting time. We use the quick start tennis here, so we can take kids starting at for very beginners all the way up to some advanced tournament players. And at the end of our session, we always end with a tournament and an award ceremony that the kids really love. So looking forward to having y'all here at the summer.
Thank you so much, Polo. And next, we are so excited to welcome to the JCC, who just started last Monday, our teen travel camp director, Liela Majedi, and she's just fantastic. And we're so excited that she's joined us from California.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really excited for us to have a really cool and busy summer. So with Teen Travel Camp this summer, we will be going to Boston in June and then Minneapolis over the 4th of July, as well as the other weeks. We will be going to tons of in-town field trips. So lots of opportunities to explore near and far, and I hope you'll join.
Awesome, thank you. And our shining star, Alise Robinson, the director of camps StarQuest and Star Power. And to tell you how to become your own shining star, here's Alise.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Alise. Thanks, Josh. We offer 2 amazing performing arts camps for children entering 3rd through 9th grade, taught by industry professionals, and we really have such a good time. Camp StarQuest is a 4-week musical theater and performing arts intensive that teach the fundamentals of theater, music, and dance, all in the process of creating a fully staged production. And we plan on putting on a live performance at the end with an audience that's open to the community at large and families. And so at StarQuest, we really fuse a traditional summer camp philosophy with a top-notch performing arts program that's based in mindfulness that keeps like our campers invigorated, engaged, empowered, challenged, and happy. A typical day would be at StarQuest includes our morning huddle by our creative tree, and then we have specialty training workshops where we go through acting, dance, and voice, and then we have a community lunch, a mindful meditation, and in the afternoon, the entire camp works together as an ensemble to put on our show. Camp concludes with our version of Maccabi, a color war called Battle of the Stars, which is so fun, and it ends in a song fest and a final appreciation circle. And then Camp Star Power is a 2-week camp where our campers get to create, write, and perform in their own original production. And this camp focuses on our campers' creative talents and performing arts skills while really teaching the art of creative collaboration and the behind the scenes process of developing an original theatrical work of art. Same thing, a typical day is by our morning huddle, we do specialty training and acting, dance, and voice. We do mindful meditation, but then in the afternoon, we do creative writing. We have songwriting workshops, playwriting, production meetings, and then of course rehearsals. And this camp concludes with a final production for family and friends and a carnival day. So I look forward to, if you have any questions at the end, we're going to do breakout rooms as Josh mentioned, and I'd love to meet with you and look forward to having a wonderful summer with your camper.
Thank you, Alise. And she can flip with the best of them, and she can teach your kid how to do that as well. It's Abby Tarlo, our gymnastics camp director, to teach you how to flip and fly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abby. I grew up here at the JCC doing gymnastics camp and what was teen adventure camp when I was a kid. But at gymnastics camp, we can take from 1st grade all the way through 8th grade, I believe, beginners to competitive gymnasts. We do about half the day gymnastics, and the other half of the day is general camp activities like arts and crafts, games, swimming. And then each session, we also have a dress-up day, a field trip, and the last day of the session is our parent show, and the kids get to show a dance they've worked on with their group where they show off all the skills that they've learned.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Abby. And I do want to introduce everybody to Dale Liuzza's picture, but Dale cannot make the meeting tonight, but in his stead, we do have Cynthia Casper, who is a mainstay of Camp Simchah. So Cynthia, please take it away.
Hi, everybody. Cynthia Casper, been here for, well, the J 36 years, and just love Camp Simchah. Excited to start there for the next few weeks this summer. Ours is the youngest camp for our ages 2 years and 4, going into pre-K. Our counselors are mostly our teachers that will be there throughout the summer. And of course, we are very excited this year that we're going to be bringing back yoga and the creature teacher. And of course, we have gardening and a lot of other specials that we'll be doing throughout camp as well. And the little ones will be doing the splash outside. Those are our 2-year-olds. The 3-year-old and 4-year-old groups that are potty trained will be doing swim lessons outdoors. And when we go into our breakout rooms, I'll be able to answer a lot more questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cynthia. And not pictured here is, of course, sports camp. Previously, my role was the director of sports camp, and I've now moved into this role, and they are currently searching for my replacement. So once that person is hired, we will make an introduction to the entire camp community, but there will be sports camp this summer like there always has been. And for those of you interested, that's a camp that focuses on kind of all sports besides gymnastics and tennis. So you're looking at your basketballs, your soccer, your flag football. They even play some floor hockey and wiffle ball and kickball, and so it's got all the sports that your star athlete would want to play and learn throughout the summer. So that's a little bit on sports camp. And as I said, as soon as our sports camp director is hired, we will make that introduction as well. So this is, of course, camp, and one of the most important parts of camp is to have fun. So we're all going to have some fun right now and play one of my favorite game shows, which is called Which Camp Is It? Think like The Price is Right, except you have to guess which camp it is. So in a moment, I'm going to read you the question about a camp, and what we'd like you to do is to put in the chat the answer that you think it is, and at the end, let us know how you did. If you got 7 out of 7, that's amazing. If you got 5 out of 7, that's great too. But let's see if you guys know about these camps at all based on what you just heard or what you might know from the past. This camp started in 1977 and means life. So if you want to put those answers in the chat, if you can tell us which camp is it? You see those answers going in. Must have some people who really know what we're talking about here. And yes, of course, the answer was Camp Chai. Chai in Hebrew means life. Awesome. And that camp started in 1977 with Laura, correct, Laura? Oh, I don't know if we've lost her. The next question on which camp is it? We may be the youngest, but this camp brings the most joy. Which camp is it? Oh, no giving hints, Cynthia. That's right, Camp Simchah, and also in Hebrew, Simchah means joy, and that is, of course, our youngest campers, the preschool camp. And the next question on which camp is it? This camp's director serves up all the right answers in trivia. Who knows the answer to this question? Some people thinking, I think, a little bit on this one. This could be one of our stumpers. Of course, the answer is tennis camp. Polo with his ability to serve, but he is also a trivia master and competes. So we're always going to Polo for our trivia questions. And the next question on this camp is it? This camp asks, where are you going today? And of course, the answer there is Teen Travel Camp. As Liela said, they are traveling all over DFW and 2 outside Dallas trips to Boston and Minneapolis this summer. So they are traveling. And the next question on which camp is it? You will be a shining star in either of these camps. And yes, of course, those camps are StarQuest and Star Power. Those are our performing arts camps, and they all come out shining stars. And that's one of the great parts about that camp, that they're able to achieve their dream that way. The next question on which camp is it? We flip and fly in this camp. Oh, we jump, flip, and fly in this camp. Sorry. Can't forget about those jumps. And of course, we're talking about gymnastics camp, and it's quite impressive to watch our campers learn new skills and really conquer these unbelievable feats of being in the air and twisting their body in all different directions. It's really cool to watch. And finally, the last question, on which camp is it? In this camp, you will learn to dribble, pass, and shoot. And if you've been paying attention and you know the other 6 answers, you should know the answer to this one. And of course, the answer here is sports camp. And as I said, their main focus there is flag football, basketball, and soccer, at least historically. So thank you for playing Which Camp Is It? And feel free to put your scores in the chat to let us know if you got a 7 out of 7. Great job, and hope you enjoyed that. Just a sneak peek at the fun that's to come. So now the next question is, when does this fun happen? And the camp dates this summer are June 7th through August 5th. That is the entire 9-week camp session. There is no camp on June 6th for Shavuot, and there is no camp on July 4th for Independence Day. We do have 3 3-week sessions, June 7th to June 24th, June 27th to July 15th, July 18th to August 5th. And if you are doing one of the performing arts camps, StarQuest or Star Power, as Alise said, their schedule is a little bit different. So it is June 7th to July 1st for StarQuest, and then Star Power is July 5th through July 15th. So those are the StarQuest and Star Power dates, which are slightly different, but it is important to know that we do have that aligned so that you can hop into another camp, especially for third session, with that ending at the same time that second session ends. But if you are interested in another camp, beyond that, we do take that into consideration. Now that you know when it's going to happen, how do you get signed up? And we're going to go into that in a second with Laura. But before we do that, I do want to, because I know this question will come up when it comes to the registration process, I do want to let everybody know that tomorrow morning, we're going to send an email to everybody who has signed up for our Zoom information sessions with a pricing sheet. So you will have pricing before registration opens, which we'll get into those dates in a second, but did want to make sure that because that's not information is not present on this presentation. So Laura, are you ready?
I am ready. I am ready. So the first thing you need to know is that every part of registration is online, and we will be still here to help you with any questions you may have with it. But especially those who have done it before, you know how to do it. So we start with member registration. Member registration is going to open on January 31st at 9 a.m. That's the first time you're going to be able to click in and get into the registration process. And it is only for members starting January 31st. If you are not a member, we suggest you join immediately. And there's a wonderful January membership special going on where you get 2 months free and a reduced registration fee. So this is the time to get in on it. You can also contact Ella Bilgen, and you see her email address up there. Being a member does give you priority registration time or early registration. So the next picture you're going to see is if you are not a member or choose not to be a member, you can become what we call a camp friend. And we're always glad to have friends at camp. That registration opens on February 7th at 9 a.m. So you will not be able to register or become a camp friend until February 7th. So what you will do at that time is you will click in, you will fill out your camp friend form, it will be processed, and you'll be able to go through the registration process that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But as you see, there is a time that it's member only, and then camp friends come in. So what happens after you're a member or a camp friend? Here's the next step. After you've done that membership, it'll say step 1. Step 1 is filling out a form that is basic demographic information. If you did this last year, trust me, it's a lot shorter. We just want the basics, your children's names, their ages, their grades, and parents' name, email, phone number and address. That's all we need from you. And then you'll sign a series of the usual waivers. And when you get through that, which will take you, shouldn't take you very long at all, you will click to log into our registration system. Once you get there, you will select the camps you want. For the older children, buses and extended day. For Camp Simchah, you would choose all day or part day. And you will do a camp for each 3 weeks. So if, for instance, you wanted the first session Camp Chai and the second session sports camp and the third session gymnastics, this is where you'll pick that. And if you want to add bus, this is where you will do it. You will then, and I should say, when you are clicking on these choices, it's going to say you're being added to a wait list. Everyone goes to a wait list. Do not worry. It does not mean that there is no space. It is part of our process. So you've clicked on, it'll say you've been added to the wait list. Now, how do I get off the wait list and into camp? JCC staff, the camp directors, will be approving your camp's selection. And it may be very, very quickly, or it may take us a little bit of time as we evaluate, do we have room for a first grader, a sixth grader, or this camp, or that camp. If there are any questions, or we find we don't have space in a particular session or an age group or whatever, we will contact you to help make the next choice or to see where you want to go with that decision. You, once you are approved, you will receive an email. It will tell you to log back in and pay your deposit. You must pay your deposit within 48 hours. We suggest that you check your junk or your spam, because sometimes things have a way of sneaking in there, because only by paying your deposit have you secured your spot in camp. When you get that and you pay the deposit, you will also have the option to say, I want to pay monthly, I want to pay it all on this particular date, et cetera, et cetera. So it's only the deposit that is required at that point to save your spot. After you go through, we're going to then send you an email directing you to a great new program that we're going to be using called Camp Doc. And their website is going to manage all of the forms. And what's so wonderful about this is that if you don't turn it in, they're going to remind you again and again. So it'll be here where you'll put all your information about health issues, medication, immunizations, your COVID vaccination, all the different things will go through Camp Doc. And then all of us are going to, as camp directors, we're going to be reaching out to you, welcoming you, telling you what do you need to bring, when do you need to start, and to be available with all the questions. So I am here and available with registration questions until you are totally registered. And then if you have any changes or whatnot, you would also come back to me and say, we need to add, we need to drop, and we'll work it out from there. But we hope this will be a simplified system and you'll get registered and be ready for camp. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Laura, and very informative. And as I said, if there are questions on this in particular, actually, Laura is going to have her very own breakout room with registration questions.
Actually, I may not, because I'm helping.
She may not. Okay, that's a change. I'm sorry about that.
So you'll have to find me elsewhere.
And just important dates, Laura, do you want to go through those?
The important dates to remember, really, member registration. And we'll talk about it especially in the Camp Simchah breakout. Some of our camps are going to fill before we open to Camp Friends, because we have limited spaces. So now really is the time to become a member. It's worth it. There's so much else you can do. February 7th, Camp Friend registration. March 1st, the early bird special ends. So the prices will raise at that point. And then May 2nd, there will be another increase in fees and hopefully there'll be spaces left if you wait until that moment to register. I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. And I do want to reiterate for Camp Simchah, those who are interested, it's really difficult to get into Camp Simchah if you're not a JCC member. You have to remember that our preschool families get the first opportunity at it. So, even amongst them, there's the possibility that they could fill it up. And Cynthia can go more into that during the breakout session. And I think Dale did end up joining us, so Dale can help you out with that as well. So really awesome, Laura. And as she mentioned, Camp Doc will be able to help us with medical forms, including COVID vaccination forms. And to speak of the dreaded C word, Tara O'Hayan will talk to you a little bit about that.
So this is something we all wish we did not have to deal with, is our COVID policies. These are ever changing. So the policies that we have in place now, I am sure will be different by the time camp arrives. But just to let you know our current policies, we are asking the children in the 2s and up mask indoors while at camp. We are requiring our staff as well to mask indoors. The vaccines, we are requiring all our staff to be vaccinated and to be boosted. The quarantines are different if you are vaccinated versus non-vaccinated. So right now, and actually our revised policies are going to be sent out tomorrow, with our different quarantine times. And so you can read those when those come out. But the most important thing to know is that we are constantly reevaluating our policies and that they change as the pandemic changes. And so tomorrow we are sending out our updated COVID policies to the entire agency. So you can see those then, and then keep up to date with our COVID response team as we send out the updates along the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Do want to highlight a few things that will be back in 2022. Buses are back. So if you live in Frisco, Plano, far north Dallas, we have 3 bus locations there in which you can drop your kid on, load up onto the bus. They get taken down to camp and they get taken back to those locations at the end of the day. Previously, we have heard that there might be some interest in a bus maybe from Lake Highlands area. We cannot guarantee that, but if there is interest, please email us, let us know so we can explore that opportunity and see if there's enough campers who would be taking that bus to have it make sense for us. Additionally, field trips will be back. So those camps and age groups that are eligible for field trips, our plan is to hop back as long as buses are there, get on the buses and go explore town a little bit and find some fun things to do off the JCC campus, as well as, of course, our daily fun that we have on campus. And then at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, really return to that active extended care all together, making friends with everybody who needs to either come to early care or aftercare or both. So those 3 things are the plan is for those things to be back in 2022 as we deal with this ever-changing environment that we are in. And then just a plug for ourselves. Please follow us on social media. We have an Instagram account and we have a Facebook account. We posted on there today about tonight's meeting. And with that, we definitely got a few more RSVPs. So we will continue to post there and share exciting news there on our Instagram and Facebook accounts. So please follow us. The handle is at JCC Dallas Summer Camp. And with that, if we have questions, Tara, I don't know if we have any in the chat, if that might be the best way so that we don't talk over each other with all the people who are on this Zoom.
Right, so there's not any in the chat right now. If anyone has any, they can add them. And then if not, we will head on. How long will aftercare last?
So before care is 7:45. It starts at 7:45 a.m. And the camp day, the regular carpool starts at 8:45. Laura, if I got that wrong, correct me. And then aftercare starts at starts at 4 o'clock, or when the camp day ends. And then it goes to at least 5:45, and that at least 5:45 would be the earliest. That would be the end of aftercare.
And aftercare is for all children, kindergarten and up, in all camps. But at 6th grade, it's the last stage. You do not need to be in aftercare if you are in 7th and up.
So I'm going to go through a few of these really quickly. What age you have to be for the buses? You have to be in kindergarten or up for the buses. The location in Plano is usually at the Coles at Ohio, and is it Spring Creek,
Creek.
Ohio? Yeah,
Mhm.
Spring Creek in Ohio. The only camp available to 3-year-olds is Camp Simchah. What time would the kids need to be there for buses? It depends which bus stop they're at. So probably as early as 8, and maybe a little bit later, depending on if it's a closer stop. Yes, StarQuest and Star Power do have before and after care. I saw an email, there's a shortage of staff with swim lessons. How are the various camps maintaining staffing shortages? But curious about contingency. So we are actually working on a whole big staffing plan. We are confident that we are going to get staff this summer. We have a lot of people coming back, and then we're using new ways to reach out to new potential staff. If you have anybody who wants to work, we are starting to do interviews right now.
And Tara, I would just
yeah.
add that email from LKSA was very specific to this time.
Okay.
That there are some LKSA staff members currently in a quarantine situation, which is leading to a little bit of their short staff element, but not in regards to their total hiring at this time.
Great. And then Camp Simchah, the main hours, if you're morning only, is 8:45 to 12:45. There is a full day program for Camp Simchah. So if you need an extended day, you just sign up for the full day program. The Camp Simchah students are not mixed in before care and after care. They stay in before and after care with their class. So Camp Simchah will be having half day classes and full day classes. So it just depends on your schedule and which Camp Simchah class you will be put in. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open the breakout rooms. You should be able to choose which breakout room you want to go to. So let me go ahead and open those rooms. You should see your camp name and be able to choose which room you want to go to. Are people able to choose?
It looks like we got people moving into the breakout room.
Okay, great.
Tara,
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Camp High breakout room. I see a lot of familiar names and faces. It's so nice to have y'all. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tara. I think I know a lot of you, and I'm just kind of curious what age your children are. You want to put in the chat what age your children are. Hello, Josie. How are you? That'll help me kind of guide what I'm going to talk to you about. Let's see. We have a variety of kids. Great. So, all right. So let me talk a little bit about kindergarten, and then we're going to go from there. So this year, we're very excited to be putting in a special unit just for our kindergartners. And it is going to be, the transition from preschool, from Camp Simchah into into Camp High is a really big transition. So what we're doing this year is making it kind of a hybrid, and it's going to be with kindergarten teachers, and they are going to be having the same essence and fun of Camp High, but also having the structure of Camp Simchah. They will be swimming once a day and having swim lessons and doing all the fun stuff that we do at Camp High. Crafts and sports and participating in Maccabia and all of our unit activities and things like that. And having their group within kind of a classroom type of way. Our older kids, once they hit first grade, our hope is that we are going to be swimming twice a day like we used to. We used to do that pre-pandemic. We're hoping to bring back the swimming twice a day, which would mean the first graders and up have swim lessons in the morning and free swim in the afternoon. They will also have something called Hugim, and during Hugim, they will get to choose different activities that they want to do. The first graders actually don't really get the choice, and the kindergartners, but they do all of the activities because they're not quite ready to break away from their group. But the other kids will have choices. They'll have sports and they'll have art. Sometimes we've had things like jewelry making or magic and things like that. So we offer a variety of different Hugim, different activities that they can choose from. Really, the essence of Camp High is one of the most fun things for the children is bonding with their counselors. We hire really great seasonal staff who have been here for a long time, and they're wonderful. And they love coming back summer after summer and being with your children and getting to know them. We also do a lot of camp-wide activities, just like what we think of as Camp High is kind of like your sleepaway experience, but without the sleep part. And so they really get to love camp. We have so many campers who are with us from kindergarten on, and then they start working for us when they're 15 because camp has been such an important part of their lives. So the traditional day camp experience is really a little bit of everything. I will tell you the two things that we don't do are tennis and gymnastics, because those are there are specialty camps for those, but pretty much all the other sports and all the other art and things like that. We even have a theater Hugim where children can like kind of dabble in everything. So it's a really fun place to be. I'm just looking here. Oh yes, tennis is not included. That is the separate program. We are planning to take field trips this year. We haven't decided where the field trips are going to be. It's just going to depend on what's happening with the pandemic at the time. In the past, and we haven't decided if we're going to do these or not, but we've had one late night procession, and we've also had a sleepover for the older kids. We're not sure that we're going to be able to bring that back this summer, but that is something that we really love doing, and they love the field trips and things like that. So their schedule is pretty much a very similar schedule, although they have specialists on different days. So they would have sports specialists certain days of the week and art specialists. We have a dance specialist. We are going to have different specialists like gardening and things like that. We have some new features that we're bringing in for the summer too. So there's lots and lots of fun stuff. It's just a great all around experience. So what questions do y'all have? If your child is going into tennis is not an option until first grade. That's correct. If we want to have tennis and swimming for a 5-year-old, what is the best way to pick the program? So tennis camp is available once they're going into first grade. And sports camp is also available once they're going into first grade. So the kindergarten option right now is this, we're calling it Little High. What other questions do you have about camp? What is the age of all field trips? All high, even the yes, everybody goes on the field trips. We pick different ones. Some of the field trips we've done in the past for the older kids are things like the water park. We've even gone to Six Flags. We've done, for the little ones, we'll like take them to Splash Park or to the zoo. Where else have we taken them? You know, bowling and things like that. Those are pretty easy field trips for the little ones. What are the hours of Little High? It's the same. It's the 9 to 4 are the hours of Little High as well. For sports camp, do they do all camp activities like Maccabia. I think that they do. I'm actually not 100% sure, but they do those kinds of essence and all camp activities as well. The age for Little Chai is going into kindergarten. Sports camp age, you know what? Is it first or second? I'm going to have to confirm that now that you're saying that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to ask Josh, so we can confirm that when we go back. And so yes, for kindergarten, it is Little Chai. That is the choice. So you register your child for their grade they're going into. So if your child's going into first next year, you will register him for first grade. Correct. Yes. So you register them on your registration forms and everything. You put the grade that they are going into. When we register, will they automatically be put in Little Chai? Yeah, you will choose Camp Chai, but yes, they will automatically be put in there. Do you have a typical schedule? So a typical schedule is we have a morning, like a big morning opening, and then they have a unit opening. So every every age group is broken into a unit. It's really fun because they have their own tribe, and then they have their own unit, and then they have the big camp. So for example, the kindergarten unit is called Camp Halitzim. They all do things together. They have bonding activities. They do unit activities, especially designed for them. They have a unit song and all of that. And then they go about their days. So every tribe, which we call them, is a little bit different in what they do. So they would go to their specialists. They would go to swimming. They would have tribe time. Tribe time is when the counselors plan activities for them. We provide a snack in the morning, so they will have snack. So specialists and all that, they eat lunch around noon. And then in the afternoon, it's a very similar afternoon with, if they haven't swam in the morning, I mean, the big kids will swim morning and afternoon, and then they will have another specialist and more tribe time. We do a lot of water play, and then they have hugim also throughout the day. It's hugim is those specialty times that I was sharing with you. So they all have kind of the same components. It's just their schedules are a little different. Will they be going to the pool? Yes, they will be going to the pool. We, especially for our kindergartners, they have very good supervision. Their counselors are there, the swim instructors are there, and the lifeguards are there. So they are really guarded well at the pool. If your child is not a strong swimmer yet, it's okay. A lot of our children are not strong swimmers. If they're older and not a strong swimmer, that's okay too. During free swim, we will have them stay in the shallow end. And there, like I said, there's plenty of supervision at the pool. The typical size of a tribe is anywhere probably from 12 to 15 kids, depending on the size of the group and how many counselors we have. I mean, every group will have at least 2 to 4 counselors, depending on the size. The campers at sports camp do not take swim lessons. I may have missed this, but there will be swimming with aftercare this year. We have not decided that part, if they are going to be swimming in aftercare. We'll decide that closer to when camp begins. All counselors are required to be vaccinated. Yes. And actually the JCC is requiring boosters as well for all staff. What other questions? Y'all are asking good ones. Also your typical protocols in the morning. So right now our typical protocols is that you do have to fill out a health screening when you arrive. The health screening applies to your entire family. So you do have to show that on your phone when you arrive on campus. We are not currently doing temperature checks. Campers are not required to be vaccinated, but that will affect their quarantine. So if they do have a direct exposure, campers who are not vaccinated will be required to quarantine, while children who are vaccinated will be able to continue to come to camp masked. At least that's what our current policy is. I'm not sure it could possibly change. The hours of camp without aftercare are 9 to 4. what security does the JCC have? We have great security. We're very lucky to be working or to have an organization that really invests in security. It's really the number one priority, the safety, health, and security of everything that we do, of our staff, of our children, of our families is the number one priority. And so including things like our perimeter fencing, we do have DPD on campus. We have a security guard that you have to enter through to get to the J, so you do have to have clearance. And then we have a campus response team. The other thing is that the JCC is in constant contact. We have very strong connections with local and federal law enforcement. We're all a part of the security network. So whenever there is, God forbid, an emergency anywhere in the community, like there was yesterday, we are all notified in real time via text and phone. And we are also notified if there is anything in particular that we need to know or to worry about. So we feel very in tune, and having our officer on campus is also very helpful because they are a first responder. So I feel very good, and we're very lucky to have such great security, and the JCC always makes it a priority. The meals and the snacks. So the snacks are included. We provide a morning snack, and then in the afternoon, we provide what we call an otter pop. It's like an icy pop. It's a tradition at camp. And then there is a hot lunch program that you can purchase. It is not included in camp. Can we pick up any camp session for session 2? The 5-year-olds only have Little High as an option. That is the only option for the kindergartners going into kindergarten. What else? Good questions. I think one of the most really important things to know is that we really believe that camp can really make a difference in the children's lives. I think sometimes when you're headed into the big camps, especially when you're leaving preschool, it's very nerve-wracking, but you will see no matter what age your child is, there is so much growth and independence that comes from coming to the big camps at the J, that comes from the camps. The children really make lifelong friends. And what's great is they're going to make friends, and then hopefully they'll come and work with us when they're 15, and they'll be working with the friends that they came through camp with together. And so they've all known each other for a long time. And even at Camp High, we have this award where if you have worked come to camp all the years, we promise you a job when you're 15. And so we love having the tradition, and we love having the friends, and it's really fun to watch many of our staff now who were all campers at Camp High when they were young. How has it been since Omicron and the J has had several cases? Yes, we have had more cases in the past couple of weeks. We've probably had more cases in the past couple of weeks than we have in the past, however long the pandemic has started, which is pretty typical for everyone right now. We are, doing our best to mitigate the virus as much as we can. We have pretty strict protocols in place, but yes, we have definitely seen an increase. We're hoping that that's going to calm down, in the next several weeks. But right now, that's kind of how it is everywhere. Is a non-vaccinated child with exposure required to quarantine for 10 days? We are right now doing a 5-day quarantine with a test on the 5th day and returning on the 7th day. That is our current quarantine time. How do you determine which counselors are assigned to Little High? So our goal is to have at least one teacher with all of the Little High groups is our goal. And then when we interview them, we really try to pick the people who we know are going to be good with the kindergartners. And so they get specially assigned counselors. Also, if we know that there's something, if your child has any unique needs that we should know about, it's good to tell us ahead of time so we can place a specific counselor with them as well. But especially with the kindergartners, we want to make sure that, we get this great counselors that are really good with kindergartners. Is there a camp escort on the buses? We do have staff on the buses. We do. What else? Are you accepting the home tests? We are only accepting PCR tests. We are not accepting rapid or home tests for any of our testing currently. That's our current policy. Good questions. What else? So quiet. It's like, I wish we could have these in person because I always feel it's so quiet and I'm just talking to myself. Little High does not have naps, but they do rest a little bit after lunch because we know that some of them are coming from naps, but they do have some downtime after lunch. You can bring a lunch, of course. You can choose lunch or not lunch. Anything more we should know? Carpool and pickup. Well, first, let me say goodbye to Josie. Bye, Josie. I'm so happy to see you again. And carpool, yep, carpool. We're actually, for those of you who were here last summer, carpool was really long, but because we're having buses back this summer, we anticipate carpool being shorter, but you will get a whole video about carpool before it starts. So you'll know when and how to pick your child up. Would you recommend a specialty camp for 9, 10-year-old or camp high? I think it just depends what they're interested in. The theater camp is really amazing. Gymnastics camp is amazing. But you have to know that that's what you do all day long at those camps. If you have a 9 or 10-year-old who really wants a more like more opportunities to do different things, and I would recommend Camp High. If they're really into theater and want to do that all day, then I would recommend StarQuest. So it really just depends on what your child's interest is. But yes, definitely the 9 and 10-year-olds find a lot to do at Camp High, and they are able to experience a lot of different things. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Sumi, thank you for the nice comment. What else? Anyone else have any other questions? Let me just put my email in the chat, and that way, if you have any specific questions about high, you can always reach out to me or to Josh. We are really excited to have camp this summer. It's going to be really awesome. We're bringing back so many things that we had to take away during the pandemic time. So we're hoping to bring a lot back. Bye, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. If you'd like to continue at camp, how can I, do you have a lot of campers from Frisco? Okay, so with tennis, if you want to continue, I think that's tennis camp. You can talk to Polo about that, or you can, I'm pretty sure, take lessons after camp if that's something you want to do. Do we have a lot of campers from Frisco? I'm not sure, Melissa. I mean, we do definitely have campers from Frisco. I'm not sure how many. Last year it was less just because we didn't do buses, but now that we're bringing buses back, we anticipate having more. So thank you, Tracy. Anything else?
Quick question, and I'll just ask live so you don't have to talk to yourself the whole time. Because I was in the gymnastics breakout for a minute. There was a question of, for swim, is it free swim? Do you anticipate swim lessons this year? How's that going to work?
So it depends on the age. So what age is your child?
She'll be going into first grade.
Okay, so traditionally, and what we're hoping is that we're going to bring back 2 swim times a day. If that's the case, then they have morning lessons and afternoon free swim. So that's what our hope is. It just, again, so much is in flux given the pandemic, but that's really the goal and what we've done traditionally at Camp High.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Renee. Thanks, Melissa. Any other questions?
I have a question about Little High. How are you? I have a question about Little High and the hours. That's like the longest day I think my daughter's ever had, you know, like because she hasn't gone to kindergarten yet. Do you find that is that part of the adjustment of Little High?
It is. It's part of the adjustment. I mean, most of the kids actually do really well. I mean, they will come home, like she'll fall asleep in the car on the way home, most likely. But some of them, it takes a little while to adjust. If she's really having a hard time, we have had some parents like pick up at 2 o'clock just every day, you know, or at least until they get used to it. But most of them love it. And then you'll find they sleep really well at night. They come home exhausted, but we have had some parents who want to pick up early and their child gets upset because none of their, you know, they want to stay. But yes, it is part of the adjustment. And a lot of people have said it's helped get them ready for kindergarten and the longer day, you know. So,
all right, thanks.
But we are definitely flexible. You know, if she's having a hard time, then definitely we would.
I mean, I don't think she will. I mean, she never looked back, you know, going to Simchah, but I'm like, oh gosh, you know, I'm used to having whatever. It's my own things. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Sissy. Thanks, Erica. Any other questions? No? All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And we hope to see you this summer. Reach out to me if you have any questions.